Did we become more fragile, mentally, or were people in the past all traumatized? Considering what kind of behavior was normal in the past, I think that many people were pretty fucked up in the head. I'm gonna take a guess that the concept of mental health wasn't even a consideration at all back then. So yeah, people were probably walking around with all sorts of trauma and disorder as much or more than any of us today. The difference, I think, is that they didn't really know what brain health was. Where we do. Before the advent of television, adults would read about things in the newspaper and get on with their day. Children wouldn't even have to be exposed to bad news and quat. Then came the internet and information suddenly became available to absolutely everyone, and in 2023 we get news and information in real time. We are bombarded by stressful negative images and stories all day every day now. It's too much for the average human, and therapy is what is there to lend a hand. Getting away from screens can help in the short term. We're all traumatized now because we all share each other's trauma and don't just have to deal with our own. With the kid thing, you're probably right. We've probably gotten softer and more attached to children as mortality rates went down. But I think for other traumatic events they were probably messing up people just as bad as they do today. Society just didn't care about mental health. They aren't more fragile, just more aware of how fucked up things are. 100 years ago nobody was sitting around worrying about children. Now we are. No one cared about the earth. Now we are. No one cared about people with developmental difficulties. We called them names and left those people to die. Call it sensitivity. The whole reason why there was normalized death and murder and rape is because people were not attuned to what the fuck was going on. Now we are. Be thankful to be part of that. If I'm not responding well to a medication, can I call my doctor and tell them I want to stop taking it? Many times there are multiple medications for the same problem. Talk to your doctor and both of you can find a different medication. Always be your own advocate, especially if you're experiencing unacceptable side effects. Call them. Let them know you want to switch. As others have said, do not just stop taking them. Greater than, can I just call my doctor over the phone and let him know that I am not responding well to it? You can call them and tell them how you're feeling. You shouldn't just stop taking it. They'll tell you what is safe to do. Some medications can be dangerous to just stop using. Yep. And if you can't reach your doctor, the pharmacist who filled your RX is a good person to ask as well. They usually know more about pills and if it's safe to just stop taking them. I wouldn't advise to just stop taking them. Some medication takes a while to kick in and some require you to take a full course. You need to have a chat with your doctor about the side effects. They can fully advise you on the best action. Speak to your doctor. We don't know what this medication is for. Drowsiness and mood change are common symptoms of a lot of medication, and these may be small symptoms for something that will in the grand scheme be small negatives in a grand positive. You can stop any medication you're taking. I would suggest calling the doc and/or pharmacist. It isn't safe to abruptly stop some meds. Also know sometimes it takes a few weeks to get used to a medication or it to have an effect. 1. Call your pharmacist. You will have a complete answer on how to stop it safely, possible replacement, etc. They have your medication file and know what interacts with what. Are free to talk to, and you will have an answer within minutes. 2. Then if needed, call your physician. A law may be passed that only allows a 32-hour work week in America. How do you feel about this? Everyone is just going to be moved to salary and be required to work more and ultimately less pay with lack of overtime. Also, the amount of money that major companies are going to pay lobbyists to squash this is going to be astronomical. States are passing bills to increase hours children can work, while decreasing the age they can start working, and you think this bill has any chance at passing at the federal level? You're out of pocket, man. Republicans will stall any legislation that isn't regulation rollback or enhancing the wealth of the already wealthy. Does this mandate pay being adjusted to accommodate the loss of a working day? Or is there no adjustment in pay? I make $18.50 per hour right now. So would that number go up? If not, I don't want the bill to pass. As much as I desire a 4-day work week, I would have to pick up a second job to make ends meet without an adjustment in pay. Ultimately, that would mean working more than 40 hours a week, because what part-time job is going to want me to work up to 8 hours a week? If yes, fuck yeah, let's have a 32-hour week. I love the idea of a 32-hour work week. I think it would work great for a lot of jobs. Many would still schedule 40 hours so the employees would make more. However, many places would just cut you down to 32 hours without raising your wages to cover what you miss out on. Personally, I'd be missing about $220 out of my $1,200 paycheck. That'd be $440 a month. I wouldn't be able to afford that and would still have to work the extra 8 hours, most likely somewhere else, because overtime is not guaranteed at my job. They'd also have to hire more people, which they're already struggling to do. I'd love to see it work out for everyone. But I fear for those it wouldn't work out for. They prefer having apps on dark mode. Dark mode is the new default. Doesn't everybody do that? Good. Good. Your journey towards the dark side is complete. Yes, because I'm a vampire. Dark mode is good because you don't get flashbanged as much. What's a website that is no longer around that you miss? I just miss the old internet in general. Ads were usually just a banner up top, maybe one on the side if they were annoying. Blogs were made by real people and had their real opinion. Content farming. Bots. GPT. Whatever, not a thing. You would be interested in a band or movie and entertainment sites would tell you about it instead of a bot telling you why you should feel guilty about liking said movie, or an unwanted story about how Chloe just broke up with Lil Scumbag and they are having a custody battle over their potbelly pig. I miss the early internet in general. Between the random sites full of random games, having to infect your computer with every virus known to man to download the newest music on Kazaa or LimeWire because you couldn't just YouTube it. AIM away messages. And actually being able to use Google to help you with research and finding actual information on it rather than just ads and sponsored results. The internet of the late 90s early 2000s was way better than the spyware influenced targeted ad bullshit it's become. Barbie.com, ask mom and dad before you log on. It's just the Mattel site now, but it used to be loads of fun games with terrible sound quality and based on the early movies like Rapunzel and Magic of Pegasus. You could navigate to My Scene, Polly Pocket, and everything girl from there too. ThinkGeek.com. Had some of the silliest and strangest things you could get. Still have my Lego drinking cup you can build onto. Star Wars/Star Trek items. Drive. Who? Big Bang Theory. Marvel Comics items. Minecraft. Etc. It carried endless knickknacks you couldn't find elsewhere. It shut down/sold off to Amazon in 2019. With Amazon not necessarily purchasing the same products to sell anymore.